So if there's one thing I've learned from doing these patch notes, even though we went over them yesterday, we're going to go down to the team-ups first, because it'll give context to the changes we look at afterwards a bit more. So let's get right into it. Team Up Ability Season 3 patch, here we go. So obviously Spider-Man and Human Torch got the new ability. Spider-Man gets a flame web that does damage over time, and now Torch gains a 5% boost in damage output. Some people were saying in Discord Torch got nerfed, but I think this makes up for it. But I think Torch is... People are saying Torch is going to be worse. I think Torch is going to be just fine. Torch is still a decent pick, and you can pick them. I think the more the meta shifts are going to hurt Torch more than the actual Torch nerfs. Okay, so now we have the big bad wolf. Wolverine now gets lifesteal through the Primal Phoenix team up, and then Phoenix gets a 10% damage boost as that anchor. I'm sure you guys have all seen that. Wolverine's going to be 100% pick ban in a ranked environment. I promise you that. Unless you're just running some kind of troll, like, no-tank team. The damage that Wolverine does around him really doesn't matter that much. Although I don't know why you give Wolverine more damage with the lifesteal. Even if it's 5% lifesteal, it's going to be too much. Wolverine just does insane damage. And then we're just removing some team-ups. I don't think I need to really go into these too much. Squirrel Girl, this missile, by the way, she gets a missile shot. This, I believe, is anti-air, anti-flyer. I know it's homing, it locks onto them, and they showed in the little video that they haven't gone into it too much, but yeah, sorry, I haven't done a ton of research on this one yet, so I'm not 100%, but Squirrel Girl, this should be, with Iron Man and then Ultron Squirrel Girl, this should definitely help her out a lot. I don't think Squirrel Girl is even that terrible in the flyers, but she's definitely not the best pick. This is going to help her with that. So Squirrel Girl stocks, you might want to buy. You might want to buy, guys. Yeah, like I got hate in my announcement video this morning that I posted because I don't know all the team ups like perfectly. I'm like, dude, you don't need to know exactly what all the team ups do and all the little stat boosts to know how the meta is going to shift. You just see the changes they make and you know, act accordingly. The team up looks trash. It depends how it functions. If it actually knocks flyers, or at least just helps her hit them, I don't think it's that bad. But we also don't know the extent of how this works. Like, what if she puts a homing missile on like a healer in the back line and it like pierces everybody? We don't really know exactly how this works. So I can't give it a proper rating. So we'll keep an eye on it. Okay, let's keep going here. So, Storm, Torch, team up gone. Jeff, Venom, and now Hela gets the tendrils, which we saw those. Hela, this, by the way, is not insignificant. This is a pretty big Hela buff, because Hela now gets a slow on people she's trying to headshot. Hela's going to be terrifying. She's going to be very hard to dive now. Hela is, well, I can't say she's S tier again, because she's already S tier. Now, I guess she's just S+. I don't know. But, you know, at the end of the day, you do have to be good on Hela. Now you gotta be slightly less good, because this is gonna help you out with your aiming. Okay, so we have some more balance changes with the Guardian Revival, Adam Warlock, Star-Lord Mantis, the res. The cooldown goes up 15 seconds. This is pretty much not gonna change anything, and I know Mantis gets buffed, so this is pretty insignificant. This is not going to matter too much. I don't care what anybody says. Maybe 1 in 10, 20 games you might notice this. But this is not really that important. Res comp is going to be meta next patch at this current rate here. This is not a big enough of a nerf to compensate for how much Mantis got buffed, in my opinion. But let's keep going. And then Jeff's team up now buffed a little bit. Got the bonus health up to 100. And the tendril goes for 5 seconds. Actually, I don't see Jeff's use this team up too much. I don't really notice it. So that's probably why they buffed it. Yeah, Hela stocks are up, Squirrel Girl stocks are up, for sure. Alright, now let's go to the actual balance changes here. Here we go, the Emma Frost nerfs. The long-awaited, I think a lot of people, mainly tank players, who don't play Emma have been calling for these nerfs for a long time because, let's face it, Emma is OP, and not only is OP, but can carry harder than any tank in the game. despite being easier to play than a lot of tanks, I think. So she's just good at everything. Very strong anchor. Very tanky in her diamond form, too. So let's see what they're going to do to her. Okay. The telepathic pulse damage, that's her primary fire, at 99 energy goes down from 120 to 110 per second. Okay. And from 150 to 140 at 100 energy. So this is 10 to her rate of fire whenever she's below 99. Why does it say at 99 exactly? I want to say this is just another NetEase L translation, and that this is just a straight 10 off her primary fire. If that's what it is, this is very significant, because this will add up over time a lot. I mean, Emma sometimes will go for fights 20, 30 seconds just beaming someone. So, I mean, even if you land your beam half the time, 20 seconds times 10, that's it's like 2,000 damage. That's a big nerf. This is almost a 10% nerf to her damage. I just don't know why it says 99 energy. This is such a specific number. So I'm going to guess this means below 99. Maybe if someone in chat could help me out and confirm this. If this is just a straight 10% damage nerf. If it is a straight 10 damage nerf at all energy, I think they mean below 99, then this is obviously a significant change. But if it's only at 99 and 100, then this is a nothing burger. But yeah, like I said, we'll figure out in time. Okay, so one thing I said was her diamond form. She's too tanky in it. This is a great change. This is a really great change. It's one of the things I wanted to see them change. Either push her more towards a tankier tank or more towards a high damage tank. And now she has the same amount of damage reduction that Thing has, putting her in line with him. And last but not least, they're buffing her ultimate. Her ult comes up quicker. What? They don't need to do this. I mean, I guess the idea behind this is she's going to be doing less damage, so her ult's going to be charging slower. So this, you know what? I'm okay with this. This is a compensation. This is still going to hit Emma. Seems like chat is a bit confused as well, but yeah, I think we are all in agreement that this is just a flat 10 damage nerf, and they mean up to 99. I think that's what it means, because that's the only thing that I would say is acceptable of a nerf. This is obviously going to hurt Emma. 100%. But will she be out of the meta? No. Emma will still be good. She might get knocked out of S, but I think she'll still be a solid pick. The Thing, here we go. This is the big one. We already know. I actually haven't looked at his specific changes yet. There's a new ability, Battle Blitz. New ability, by the way, shares a cooldown with your, I don't know the name of the ability. The leap to your teammate. I'm a fake Thing main. I don't know the name of the ability. It's like get over here. That's Mortal Kombat. I don't know what it is, but you still get the damage reduction. 20 meters, I believe that's the same distance, and then it knock. Oh wait, no, it doesn't knock. Okay, yo, this is actually better than I thought. So this is two separate things. The Battle Blitz ability is strictly a dash to enemies without needing your teammates to be there, but the aerial knock is just built into your spammable Stone Haymaker. This is way better than I thought. This is way better than I thought, by the way, because this is spammable. So now you can do flank plays with height. You don't necessarily have to jump to a flyer, for instance. You could throw a Wolverine up on a ledge. You could jump to the Wolverine, give him the damage reduction, then jump off the ledge, punch the flyer when they're not looking, and spam punches on them. There has to be some sort of internal cooldown with this effect, or it's going to be overpowered. Basically, if you get a flyer out of the sky, they're going to be perma-stun locked on the ground. Unless there's something I'm overlooking, this is going to be broken. And yes, of course, there's no reason to play Hulk anymore. Exactly. I mean, this is just, he does what Hulk does now, but better. I'm going to assume that they have to be above a certain height for this to trigger, like Hulk's air stun. Or else this is just going to be the most broken effect. This is spammable, guys. This is spammable. They finally made a tank OP. And not through just raw numbers. They need to do this, what they're doing to Thing, to every tank. They need to do what they're doing with Thing to every tank. Give them some broken mechanic. I don't know why they're giving it to Thing. It makes no sense. But give them some broken mechanic that isn't just like auto one-shot kill like all the DPS ults are, but is insanely valuable to have on a team. This is amazing. Thing is this. He's straight to S tier, guys. He's straight to S tier. I mean, with the Emma nerfs, he's back, baby. Back in a big way. But yeah, we'll need some testing. Venom. Okay, so his slow effect goes up 10%. This is a really nice change. I mean, Venom is low-key kind of strong right now, but just kind of suffers from the meta a little bit, I think. Dive obviously not being the strongest, Emma being so good. Emma's really good into Venom because she could burst him out with the shield. But also just flyers. Venom can't really do a ton to them. Venom is... I almost think didn't need this. The meta shifts could have been enough. Venom's probably back up to A tier. At least, in my opinion. We'll see, though. Coach, it's not going to change anything for Thing. People just won't play flyers anymore. I don't see how that's not a W for Thing. If you give him something that causes people to stop playing his biggest counter, despite his ability to now counter those counters, that doesn't make it any less good. Now Thing doesn't have to deal with that bullshit. Yeah, so I don't really follow the logic there. But yeah, let's move on to DPS here. Us Venom mains don't really get much, but then again, Venom is probably one of the most balanced Vanguards. I would agree with that. I would agree with that, actually. I think Venom is very balanced. Venom and Strange, very well designed. Yeah, no Thor, no Hulk. I'm gonna. This is a hot take. I think Thor may be a little weak, but honestly, I am seeing Thors absolutely pop off now. Like when you run into a good Thor, guys, they are terrifying. Venom's a sleeper pick. Yeah, I kind of agree with King. Thor might need to be buffed slightly, but honestly, Thors are starting to figure him out, and what's happening is exactly what I said would happen. He's a little harder to play, a little more complex, but once people figure it out, they're actually going to be better on him. And I think you're starting to see that now. So, you know what? I'm okay with one more pass without Thor buffs. More of a DPS now? Yes. Thor is more of a DPS. I do agree with that. All right, let's get to the duelists here. So I want to say they buffed torch damage, but I might be missing... I think he gave him 5% damage. But now they reduce the fire cluster damage. They reduce the shockwave and dot damage. Okay, so this is just compensation. And look at that. They added the team-ups into the balance changes, so now I don't have to do things out of order. We'll remember that for next time. So Torch is going to be about the same. I think Torch is still solid. He'll be a solid pick. Iron Man. Reduced the first two repulsor blasts from 40 to 35 and 50. Okay, so that's just... This isn't a massive nerf because you only use armor overdrive every 20 seconds, right? It's like 20 or 30. It's a long cooldown. I do like this, though. I feel like Iron Man gets his ult way faster than other heroes. Because he does. It's not, I don't feel it. He does. He does get his ult faster. So, yeah, no, I like this change. I think this is a good change. I think he might still be A. Maybe drop down to, like, B. But he'll still be a decent pick. Mr. Fantastic. So, Mr. Fantastic's yet another character I think just struggles because the meta isn't favorable for him. Long-range poke kind of just pops him. Punisher being big. Hawkeye, Hela, right? So, while this is I don't think this is a massive nerf. I truly think that when he's in his melee form, he's the most vulnerable. So, I don't think this is going to affect a good Mr. Fantastics too much. But this does suck a little bit, but I think with the meta shifts, Mr. Fantastic's going to be just fine. I think he might even go up despite being nerfed, believe it or not. And I stand by that after seeing this. 50's not too bad. Could be worse. Does suck, though. Namor. Now, this is one thing I'm a little surprised by, that they're buffing Namor's... yeah, his right-click and left-click attacks just move quicker, do slightly more damage. So Namor's looking good. Namor might be back up to S tier. I don't really know why they're buffing him. I just feel like DPS in the game, honestly, just get way too much love. I don't think Namor needed buffs. Yeah, I mean, chat's agreeing with me. But, hey, at least he has a team up with Hulk. I play with some Namor players, so... You know, whatever. Scarlet Witch. Reduce max slow rate during her ult charge period, so she moves faster. The damage does 100 more. That's what, just in case it wasn't one-shotting you. Okay, I mean, yeah, that's whatever. Makes it a little harder to stun, I guess. Okay, so Spider-Man. So he got that team up. He loses the anchor, but he gains the ability. He loses 10% damage, but the damage of all his abilities quite literally have been increased by 10%. So, as far as I'm concerned, Spider-Man has been buffed. He's been buffed, guys. Sorry. Sorry, everyone. Because his damage is going to be roughly the same for the most part. The combo is his uppercut, right? So, I mean, now he's got a new shiny new ability. I think Spider-Man's going to be just fine. And probably you might see him get banned again. He did not get a buff. I think good Spider-Man's got a buff here. Guys, if his damage gets reduced by 10%, and then they just increase the damage of all his abilities by exactly 10%, what, his basic attacks do slightly... Like, who cares about his basic attacks? His combos are what matters. That's where his burst lies. New combo possibilities? Exactly, Ja. Spider-Man's definitely better now. Definitely better now. The Punisher. Punisher needs nerfs. S-tier character. Hard counters all the fun characters in the game, like Fantastic Thing and Hulk. Okay, looks like they're reducing his turret damage by 2, which doesn't seem like a lot, but you look at it this way, it's like almost a 20% nerf to its damage. That's kind of insane. That's kind of an insane nerf, by the way. And he gets his ult slower. Great. That is actually so good. This is such a good change. This was the big issue with Punisher, is he just could use it like multiple times a fight when he just farms off a brawler meta. So, yeah, no, I'm glad they nerfed this. That is a much-needed change. I actually really like that. That's a significant change. Actual good nerf to Punisher. Actual good nerf. That you will feel that. You will feel that. Bucky's getting a little more dangerous from downtown. Okay, so Bucky's just gonna be less useless when everybody's playing long-range poke. I don't think it's gonna matter too much. Bucky's sleeper kind of good right now. And, yeah, he might creep back into the meta. You know, you never know. And, Wolverine. Okay, we got some Wolverine changes. So he got the team-up. The super OP team-up. Is this going to be enough to get us to not ever ban Wolverine? It's the buff he gets afterwards, right? Sorry, my puppy's barking. 1 less second of him slashing you, which, like, doesn't matter for most tanks. You're going to either get out or die by then anyway, so that's a big nothing burger, but, oh, it increases. Yeah, it increases. Yeah, that doesn't matter too much. Cooldown going up. Yeah, this is definitely a nerf. This is definitely a nerf. Yeah, someone in chat said it's going to be more punishing to miss. Which is, I feel like it's how it should be, because they made Wolverine a lot more useful baseline without landing this. They made him less feast or famine. So, yeah, Wolverine is going to be... I actually don't mind this change, because it's going to make him less brainless. It's going to make him a little less brainless. You're still going to ban him every game. Yeah, you're still going to ban him every game as a tank player. Okay, strategist. Here we go. Let's get over this one quick. Sue's healing a little bit more reliable. Now that's fantastic. Increased orb projection healing launch, 40-45. Okay, so they just gave her a bit more upfront healing and damage. This is a slight buff. Honestly, this isn't as big of a buff as I thought. This isn't terrible. They upped it on the front, reduced it on the back. Not really that big of a deal. Loki gets his ult slower. Not enough of a nerf. This is... I mean, they shouldn't have buffed her, by the way. Just throwing that out there. This is absolutely idiotic. She's an S-tier character. And this is not enough of a nerf. But, you know, whatever. At least they're doing stuff. Mantis. Mantis is a healer I actually enjoy playing. Pretty much haven't touched her this season because she's bad. Heals allies by 2.5% of their health per second. The base healing is reduced by 7.5. Let's do some quick math. 2.5. That's literally 7.5 on a 250 health target. So on a tank, you are going to be doing over 50% more healing on them. That is a massive buff. A absolutely massive buff to Mantis. She went from pretty much only pickable with res comp and some weird, like maybe Mantis Spider or Widow's SpiderMan comps to you might be able to just pick Mantis every game now, which is great. I will definitely be playing some Mantis Season 3. That is a promise, because I don't really like Rocket that much anymore. I really like this character. I will definitely be playing Mantis. I will definitely be playing Mantis. This is exciting. This is what she needed, too. Because they decreased her over-reliance on res comp by nerfing the aspect of res comp that kind of makes it OP, and then increased her own base power. They need to do the same thing to Hulk. They need to do this to Hulk. They need to nerf his team up a little bit, or just remove it for once, and just let him kind of function more on his own, right, in more games. But I think with all the meta shifts and nerfs, Hulk's going to be in a good spot. Ultron, last change. Ultron's going to have updated software. Ultron's downloading some malware, guys. Ultron's been looking at too many shady sites. That's why he's getting the nerf. Okay, dynamic flight acceleration. Ooh. I play a lot of Ultron, so Ultron's another character I like. That is actually not... I don't like this. His dynamic flight is a very, very long cooldown, and yes, it feels very good when it's up, but yeah, 6 seconds, that is 25% nerf on the time. That is a big nerf, because he is very exposed when he doesn't have this cooldown up, so it's a little worrying. Reduce imperative firewall bonus. I feel like this shield already does nothing. I don't know. They're doing this because Spider-Man players are complaining that they can't one-shot Ultron, which is like, you can't one-shot him anyway if he positions well, but Ultron will still be okay, but I don't really think he needed this nerf unless they are content with making him a purely niche pick. But they didn't do that with Rocket, after Rocket had kind of a unique kit, and they kind of streamlined him in more to like a narrow support that everybody can always have on their team and be useful. They kind of did the same thing to Jeff, although less so. Made him into like a heal bot. Doesn't seem like they're going that direction with Ultron. Or is it only a matter of time before people just never play him, because the only time you'd ever pick him is like Mantis, where it's on res comp. So I don't think these nerfs really make much sense. It doesn't align with the rest of their design philosophy. But overall, I think that this patch is a big W. Is a big W. I've been very vocal about the flyer patch and saying I don't think it's that bad. It's just bad for because characters are OP. Well, let's see here. Who were the most OP characters of the patch? Emma, she got nerfed. Punisher got nerfed. Hela, she got buffed. Iron Man got nerfed. So just ban Hela, ban. I don't know. Emma's probably still worth a ban. Ban Wolv. I'm pretty excited for this patch, guys. I'm gonna give it a B. Because the Wolverine changes are actually absolutely ridiculous, and the Hela and I think the Ultron, they went a little overboard because he's only good in one comp already. But I like all the other changes. I'm gonna give it a solid B. B for the patch, and we'll check back in mid-season and see how close we were to being right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to Hulk smash that like button, Hulk smash that subscribe button, leave a comment, let me know what you think. Is my score of B correct, or would you give it a better score or worse score? Obviously, I'm a little biased because the thing changes are amazing, but I gotta bring down the hammer, bring down the Hulk's the fists on these devs, man. They I don't know, they must have someone who plays Hela and Hawkeye. But anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next one.